Hi, my friends. Welcome to the webinar. Thank you for joining on time. I'm going to give another 30 seconds for some students who are still joining in, and I can see a big number of students already in here. Very excited to see you here. So let's get started in 30 seconds from now. My name is Bhavdeep Singh, and some of you, or many of you already know me. For others, I'm going to give a brief introduction. So many students have joined in, and Rahul is asking me what is the agenda today. So agenda, obviously, as it says on the whiteboard here, is how to score 100% marks in your ninth CBSE physics. So let's get started with a brief introduction about myself. And as I said, many of you already know me. You might have taken classes with me and webinars, or you know me personally as well. For others, let me tell who I am. So this is Bhavdeep Singh. I live in the beautiful city of Chandigarh. I did my masters from IIT Bombay in 1998, and obviously none of you was born that time. I worked in software development for about 15, 16 years, and then decided that nahi, I have to go back to my passion, which was teaching. So I became a full-time teacher 5 or 6 years ago. I have trained or mentored like thousands of students so far, and I'm looking forward to work with you now. So with that brief introduction, let me also tell you what my strategy is when I teach my students, and many of you already know me. So I try to make physics as much fun as I can, because you cannot enforce studying, especially not a subject like mathematics or physics, unless it is fun. So when you make it fun, students, it's part of their life. I mean, they want to do that. So that's what my method of teaching is. Let's make things fun. Start from basics. समझ लो कि कुछ आता ही नहीं है, वहीं से start करना है. I mean, you should have some basic background in mathematics and all that. And when you learn physics, some things have to be clear. But try to go as basic as I can. Now, go beyond syllabus is another thing that I really emphasize on. So ये pen है, this falls down because gravity pulls it down, but that doesn't explain every question that students, young students here have. So students have out of the box questions. Sir, ऐसे क्यों नहीं, ऐसे क्यों, ऊपर क्यों नहीं जाता, इधर क्यों, side में क्यों नहीं जाता? So those kind of questions need a little going beyond the syllabus. I mean, we are not trying to make it so difficult कि भाई syllabus से एकदम बाहर चलेगा, but a little beyond syllabus. So that's kind of like strategy I follow. So let's get started with today's webinar. So the agenda today is what should be your last minute strategy. अब exams आने वाले 2 महीने बचे हैं, less than 2 months maybe for many of you. So what now? क्या करना है ना? So first of all, the assumption here is कि most of the syllabus has been completed. पढ़ लिया है, सब कर लिया है. अभी रिवीजन मोड में है, और like whatever, like what should be the last minute, last mile, that's really very important. So क्या करना है, what should we do right now? So that's the main agenda, है ना? What is the next step? एग्जाम के बाद फिर क्या सर, है ना? So it's tea time for me. Any time is tea time, as Mr. Nehru used to say. And so first of all, last minute strategy. Next step, and there is a big surprise coming for you at the end of the webinar, so stay tuned. And some of the students are live here who are interacting with me on the chat box. Some of you will see it on YouTube. So for YouTube students, you can pause, rewind, forward and all that. Yeah, so there are a few tips. First of all, I would like to give you the very first tip I say is make the formula sheet. एक चैप्टर की एक शीट है ना, फोर्स एंड लॉज ऑफ मोशन तो की एक शीट हो गई, मोशन की एक शीट हो गई, एंड देन यू हैव अनदर शीट फॉर साउंड, है ना. यू हैव डिफरेंट वेरियस शीट. सो फॉर्मूला शीट इज अ मस्ट. यू रियली हैव टू बी हैविंग वन फॉर्मूला शीट फॉर ईच चैप्टर. बहुत बड़ा सा नहीं लिखना, नोट्स नहीं बनाने. मे बी समथिंग दैट यू कैन कैरी इन योर शर्ट पॉकेट. जब वेट कर रहे हैं स्कूल का, उसका वेट कर रहे हैं, जस्ट उठा के पढ़ लिया, है ना. पार्क में खड़े हैं, उठा के पढ़ लिया. दीज हैव टू बी ऑन योर फिंगर टिप्स. मेमोराइजेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. यू जस्ट लुक एट द फॉर्मूला शीट एवरी डे एंड इट्स गोज इनटू योर विजुअल मेमोरी. ठीक है, तो वो जरूरी है. फॉर्मूला शीट इज अ मस्ट, एंड दिस विल बी मोर इम्पोर्टेंट व्हेन यू गो फॉर नीट एग्जाम, जेईई एग्जाम डाउन द लाइन, लाइक 3-4 years फ्रॉम नाउ. फॉर्मूला शीट इज अ मस्ट. और एक बार फिर से बोलता हूं कि दिस इज नॉट सपोज टू बी बिग स्टोरीज हियर. ब्रीफली, विजुअली बना लो छोटे छोटे, एंड डू नॉट टेक प्रिंटेड फॉर्मूला शीट्स दैट आर रेडी मेड अवेलेबल. राइट इट इन योर ओन हैंड राइटिंग, because that way your brain gets it more. Also make in the sheet you should also write the units because some students really get confused with units of velocity, displacement and all that, which you should not. But if you're one of those students, make sure that thing also is in the formula sheet. When I was a student, and I recommend same thing for many students, if it works for you, make pictorial formula sheets. Pictorial formula sheets कैसे होती हैं कि भाई एक आदमी बना दिया ना. I can guarantee I'm horrible in drawing pictures, but still you just have to draw symbols over there, right? So make things like okay ये यहाँ से यहाँ आ गया. तो basically you draw things like okay यहाँ से चल के आया था, then you say okay actual path है ना, and then you write down this is called the displacement, and then you write down the shortest path and call it displacement. This is distance, my bad there. So you say actual path and then you write the word distance over there, and then it's always a good idea to write meters in parentheses to show that the unit is that. So pictorial formula sheet is going to be more visually into your in your brain. That's tip number one. Very very important tip. Make formula sheet. अभी तक नहीं बनाई है तो अब बनाओ. एग्जाम टाइम में बहुत काम आएंगे. एग्जाम मॉर्निंग में डू नॉट स्टडी एनीथिंग क्योंकि जो पढ़ लिया कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर हो गए. एग्जाम मॉर्निंग में 15 मिनट ओनली द फॉर्मूला शीट देखना है उसको. ठीक है. टिप नंबर 2, make and follow schedule. Human body, human brain, they love schedule. See, there are different people, right? Everybody has a different behavior, different pattern. So some students actually find it easy कि 7 to 7:40 ये पढ़ना है, 7:41 से 7:45 break लेना है. Those kind of such a rigid schedule works for them. For people like especially when I was a student, that strict schedule never worked. So मेरा क्या होता है कि morning में 2 hours ये पढ़ना है, then roughly half an hour 1 hour break लेना है. Like kind of loose kind of थोड़ा सा broad way. You can say Sundays को morning में ये पढ़ना है and then afternoon में ये पढ़ना है. Something like that schedule, or a very rigid schedule. If you're a person who can follow minute by minute or hour by hour, you know yourself. I don't know you. You know you. है ना? So based on how you are, what your personality is, make a schedule. Schedule जरूरी है, कैसा भी बनाओ. क्योंकि your body, your mind, they love schedule. ऐसा नहीं कि एक दिन सुबह पढ़ लिया जल्दी उठ के और अगले दिन लेट नाइट पढ़ रहे हैं, सुबह आराम से उठ रहे हैं. नहीं, स्केड्यूल बनाना पड़ेगा तुमको. ठीक है. फॉलो स्केड्यूल. उस स्केड्यूल में सिर्फ पढ़ाई नहीं आएगी, बहुत कुछ आएगा. इंटरेक्शन विद योर लाइक फ्रेंड्स एंड प्ले टाइम. आई टॉक अबाउट दैट आल्सो. सिर्फ पढ़ाई नहीं रखना उसमें, वो एंटरटेनमेंट भी रखना. ठीक है. टिप नंबर 1 was make a formula sheet. Tip number 2 really equally important is you should follow a schedule. Schedule is very very important. टिप नंबर 3 बहुत जरूरी. स्केड्यूल बना लिया, उसमें प्ले टाइम ब्रेक्स रखने. ऐसा नहीं कि यार कई लोग क्या करते हैं, लिखो 24 आवर्स इन अ डे, 8 आवर्स चलो सोने का हो गया, वॉशरूम, टेकिंग बाथ एंड ऑल दैट, 8-9 घंटे निकाल दिए अंदर. जैसे ओके आई एम गोइंग टू स्टडी 15 to 16 आवर्स अ डे. नहीं काम चलेगा. द प्रोडक्टिविटी रिड्यूसेस. आई एम नॉट सेइंग पढ़ो ही मत, 1 घंटा पढ़ो, ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा. बट if you're trying to study 15-16 hours a day, after some time your brain is really tired. Body नहीं tired होगी. Very young people here, है ना? So body will not be tired, but the brain gets tired. And what happens is what you could learn in 5 minutes is going to take 1 hour now. So that's productivity. Your productivity is going to go down. तो इतना नहीं पढ़ना है, लिमिट में पढ़ना है. बट इन एडिशन टू दैट यू शुड हैव इनफ ब्रेक्स और रिक्रिएशन. अगर तुम सॉकर खेलते हो, कीप डूइंग दैट. मे बी रिड्यूस द टाइम. अभी 2 घंटे 3 घंटे खेलते थे, मे बी रिड्यूस इट टू हाफ एन आवर और 1 आवर. चेस खेलते थे, चेस खेलो, है ना? वट एवर. गार्डनिंग करते हो, गार्डनिंग करो. हेल्प योर पेरेंट्स, हेल्प योर मदर इन किचन. डू समथिंग आउटसाइड ऑफ स्टडी. बट टीवी, मोबाइल फोन, ये सब नहीं करना. ये मोबाइल फोन एंड ऑल दैट, दिस लुक्स लाइक अ रिफ्रेशिंग. But technology is good. I'm not against technology. But if you're trying to say, I'll take a break on the phone, play a game, chat, and all that, you're actually making your brain more tired. So something close to nature. Go out, play in the park, sit in the sun. Winters में भी sit in the sun. धूप सेक लो, है ना? Garden में जाओ, help your mother in kitchen, chit chat with your siblings, बातें करो. कुछ ऐसा करो कि थोड़ा सा टेक्नोलॉजी से हटके, पढ़ाई से हटकर. ऐसा नहीं, और ऐसे अपने फ्रेंड्स को बोल दो, आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक टू यू बट नॉट अबाउट एग्जाम्स. Because you might have some friends who want to talk 24/7 about studies only. Study is very good. We are here to study. This is the age to study. But जब break है तो break है. है ना? फिर जब तुम वापस आओगे आफ्टर 1 आवर ऑफ ब्रेक, देन फुल एंथुजियाज्म से, फिर नहीं डिस्ट्रैक्शन, फिर किसी का भी फोन आए, जस्ट से नहीं, आई एम बिजी, और या फोन को बंद करके रख दो, है ना? या फिर टेल योर पेरेंट्स, लैंडलाइन पे कोई फोन आया, so just say he is busy, he or she is busy. स्लीपिंग इज इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट, सो ब्रेक टाइम में स्लीपिंग भी आता है, ऐसा नहीं कि 4 घंटे 5 घंटे पढ़ रहे हैं, स्पेशली ऑन द एग्जाम डे। आई रियली डोंट एडवाइज एनीबॉडी कि 4 बजे सुबह उठ के पढ़ रहे हैं फिर एग्जाम में जा रहे हैं। यू शुड बी हैविंग इनफ ऑफ स्लीप बिफोर द एग्जाम। तो टिप नंबर 1 क्या थी? टिप नंबर 1 वाज मेक अ फॉर्मूला शीट। प्लीज प्लीज, वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, उसको नहीं भूलना है, ठीक है? टिप नंबर 1, मेक अ फॉर्मूला शीट। टिप नंबर 2, follow a schedule. Tip number 3, have enough break time. ब्रेक उसमें खेलो कूदो कुछ भी करो, कॉमिक्स पढ़ते हो तो कॉमिक्स पढ़ लो, बट ट्राई नॉट टू रीड, क्योंकि आईज वैसे ही टायर्ड है पढ़ के, तो ट्राई टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट। टिप नंबर 4, रिवाइज। रिवीजन इज रियली इंपॉर्टेंट। द वे द ह्यूमन ब्रेन वर्क्स इज पहली बार में समझ में आ जाता है, एंड देन क्विकली चला भी जाता है, आ जाएगा चला जाएगा। But when you revise it, and studies have shown that, I'm not just making this up. So when you study something and if you revise it within the 24 hours, वो जो यहाँ तक गया था, यहाँ आते आते ही तुमने उसको ऊपर कर दिया। Seriously, there are studies on that. So when you study something within 24 hours, there should be first revision. But that is gone, क्योंकि now we are at the last minute. So the assumption here is कि सारे चैप्टर्स कंप्लीट हो गए हैं, यू हैव कंप्लीटली स्टडीड एवरीथिंग। अभी स्टडी मोड में नहीं जाना, अभी रिवीजन मोड में जाना है। तो अगर कोई चैप्टर रह गया, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट्स रह गए हैं, उनको भी खत्म कर दो। मे बी नेक्स्ट 1 or 2 वीक्स टारगेट के सब कुछ खत्म कर देना है, टू गो इनटू द रिवीजन मोड। अब रिवीजन कैसे करना है? रिवीजन का बेस्ट वे, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट वेज आई टेल माय स्टूडेंट्स इज, अपने आप को पढ़ाओ। टेक अ व्हाइट शीट, येलो शीट, ग्रीन शीट, आई मीन जस्ट प्लेन शीट ऑफ पेपर, एक पेन ले लिया और उसमें आपको हमने पढ़ाया। या तुम्हारे पास अगर व्हाइट बोर्ड है, पुट अ व्हाइट बोर्ड ऑन द वॉल, ट्राई टू टीच योरसेल्फ कि भाई दिस इज डिस्टेंस, दिस इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट, these are the 3 equations of motion, these are the 3 laws of motion. Try to teach yourself what is law of conservation of energy, what is law of conservation of momentum. So revision mode में क्या करना है? Try to teach yourself. One another thing that I say is, अपना curriculum जो है ना, print it out from the CBSE website या book में होता है, to take a photo state of that if you don't want to underline the book itself. जो जो टॉपिक्स करते जा रहे हो, पेंसिल से उसको अंडरलाइन कर दिया, ये हो गया आज रिवाइज, ये हो गया आज रिवाइज, ठीक है? उसके बाद क्या होगा, तो यू विल गेट मोर कॉन्फिडेंस कि भाई इतना पोर्शन था, उसमें से इतना रिवाइज आज हो गया, इतना हो गया। दैट गिव्स अ बिल्ड अप कॉन्फिडेंस कि इतना इतना हो गया। और उससे 2 थिंग, एक तो कॉन्फिडेंस बन रहा है, दूसरा यू आर मेकिंग श्योर कि नथिंग इज लेफ्ट आउट। नहीं तो क्या होगा ना कि सम रिवाइज कर लिया, बाद में आधा, अरे यार ये तो कर ही नहीं था हमने। मोमेंटम पढ़ लिया, लॉ ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम क्या है, व्हिच इज very very useful tool. So you got to make sure that you're revising everything. तो make that underline thingy. पेंसिल से क्यों बोला? क्योंकि एक बार हो गया रिवीजन, अब सेकंड राउंड ऑफ रिवीजन आया, उसमें तुमने पेन से कर दिया, है ना? फिर उसमें और कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि ये एक बार सारा हो गया था, अब ये दोबारा हो रहा है, ठीक है? मे बी थर्ड राउंड किसी को करना है तो वो हाइलाइटर पेन ले लिया। सो वॉट एवर वर्क्स विद यू, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू टिप्स। मैं ही नहीं बोल रहा जस्ट डू दिस, बट दीज आर जस्ट द टिप्स फॉर यू। तो रिवीजन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज प्रैक्टिस मेक्स परफेक्ट, ठीक है? तो ये 4 टिप्स मैं देना चाहता हूँ। नाउ वील डू सम क्वेश्चंस आल्सो। तो टिप नंबर 1 क्या थी? टिप नंबर 1 वाज मेक अ फॉर्मूला शीट। टिप नंबर 2, मेक एंड फॉलो स्केड्यूल। कैसा भी स्केड्यूल, इट्स योर पर्सनल थिंग। सम स्टूडेंट्स एक्चुअली आर आस्किंग मी हियर, सर कैन यू मेक a demo or what kind of schedule, a sample schedule for me? नहीं, I cannot do that. Every student is different. You know yourself. You make your own schedule. मैं नहीं help करूँगा. Sorry, ये earbud थोड़ा तंग कर रहा था. तो you make your own schedule based on your behavior, your pattern, your study schedule and all that. How you are, how rigidly you can follow the schedule. और एक चीज और, schedule बनाया नहीं follow हो पाया, कई बार होता है। So you should not be demotivated and get frustrated or some kind of कि क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो गया, तो नहीं फॉलो हुआ तो कोई बात नहीं यार। ह्यूमंस डू, देखो थोड़ा सा तो इधर उधर हो गई, नहीं फॉलो हुआ आज कोई बात नहीं, कल से हम फॉलो करेंगे, है ना? बट जो डोंट मेक इट स्लिप एवरी डे। ट्राई टू फॉलो दैट, थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर हो गया तो यार छड्डो पर, ठीक है. Now the next thing is I said have enough break or the play time. So you should have enough time to have something outside of your studies. That's really very important. Okay. The last tip I gave for today or आगे webinars में we'll have more tips on this. So revision. जितना revision करोगे उतना अच्छा है. जितने turns of revision करोगे उतना better है. करते जाओ. ठीक है. Now let's because I said practice makes perfect, so थोड़ी सी practice कर लेते हैं. And this is all I'll also give you some of the more tips here. Very important tip when you're doing a physics problem, when you're trying to analyze something, you got to make sure that you start with a picture here. ठीक है. तो picture से क्या होगा ना, it's not for examiner to evaluate. You can make it in the rough section also. This is more like okay telling कि अपने दिमाग को बताने कि है क्या यहाँ पे, what is the situation here. तो उसको पिक्चर से शुरू करना है. सबसे पहले कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो, नॉट जस्ट मैकेनिक्स, एनी काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन, इवन इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, एनी क्वेश्चन, मैग्नेटिज्म, ड्रॉ अ पिक्चर. सो अ बॉल इज थ्रोन अप विद अ वेलोसिटी ऑफ 20 मीटर्स पर सेकेंड. तो बॉल ऊपर जा रही है 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड. आई एम नॉट टीचिंग यू दीज सिंपल क्वेश्चन. ये सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, आई नो एवरीबडी कैन डू दैट. And most of you, I can guarantee 99% of the students have already done that, and you are already typing the answers there. I can see that in the chat box. Awesome job, guys. My purpose is not to teach you this question. My purpose is to tell you how you should approach any problem. ये छोटी सी problem लेके I'm telling you, this is a sample कि how you should approach problem. Simple problem, difficult problem, you should be doing this. तो ये देखते हैं. तो make a picture. So ball is thrown up with a velocity of 20 meters per second. Find the time taken to return back to the ground. तो ऐसे बना लो, बॉल ऊपर गई है ना, बॉल ऊपर गई और फिर बॉल नीचे आई. So what you have to find, यहाँ पे लिख लो find the time taken. Right? So you have to find the time taken here. Now the ball goes up, ball comes out. How long does it take? Tip number 1 in this is you make pictures here. ये हो गया, ठीक है. Now उसके बाद very important is you decide your sign conventions, क्योंकि ये प्लस क्या है माइनस क्या है, many students go wrong with that. You decide कौन सा डायरेक्शन प्लस लेना है, कौन सा माइनस लेना है. क्योंकि मैं एनालाइज कर रहा हूं, I have decided to take going upwards as positive. तो once you decide that, you write it down, क्योंकि नहीं तो मिस्टेक हो जाएगी. Once you decide, you write it down, then you stick to that. Now, if somebody else decides this as positive, the answer will still be same. Doesn't really matter. It's all your choice. But all I'm saying is you decide that and then you stick to that. फिर change नहीं करना. तो I have decided going up as positive. ठीक है. उसके बाद मैं क्या करता हूँ, I'm just telling you, you make your own approach for this. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मेरा ही follow करो. I'm just giving you sample how you should, how I advise my students. इस तरह से करके mistakes नहीं होगी तुम्हारी. एग्जाम में भी ऐसे करो 100% मार्क्स के. तो उसके बाद क्या, you write down the data. When you write down the data, you look at this. इसको देखोगे भी पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव है डेटा. तो पहले तो ये 5 वेरिएबल्स याद कर लो, मतलब लिख लो यार, U V A S and T रैंडमली लिख लिया 5 वेरिएबल्स. स्टार्ट फिलिंग इन द वैल्यूज. क्या क्या पता है. इट्स गिवन दैट द बॉल इज थ्रोन अप विद 20 मीटर्स पर सेकंड. सो U पॉजिटिव है, पॉजिटिव लिखो यहाँ पे. इवन दो पॉजिटिव साइन इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू बी रिटन देयर, बट मेक श्योर दैट यू राइट इट so that you know you have considered कि भाई पॉजिटिव है कि नेगेटिव. V I don't know and I don't care, तो उसको मैं usually cross कर देता हूँ because it's something I don't even care. Acceleration, many students make the mistakes that ball ऊपर जा रही है, acceleration due to gravity up नहीं, acceleration due to gravity is always downwards, है ना. Earth is always pulling downwards. So because going up is positive, going down is negative, so you take this as minus 10 meters per second square. डिस्प्लेसमेंट भाई 0. क्यों 0? इसलिए 0 कि डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज द शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ बिटवीन स्टार्ट ऑफ द जर्नी एंड द एंड ऑफ द जर्नी, isn't it? So if you end your journey here, this is your displacement. But अगर मैं जर्नी करते करते वापस अपने प्लेस पर आ गया, तो isn't my displacement 0? Because if I come back, return back to my original position where I started, displacement is 0. तो बॉल ऊपर गई, जाने दो, गई, वापस आई, एट द सेम पोजीशन इट इज बैक. So displacement is 0. So you have to find the time. Now there's one and only one equation you can use, and S is equal to, you write down the equation ut plus half at square. Plug in the values. 0 is equal to 20t plus half into negative 10 into t square. So that simplifies to 0 equals 20t minus, है ना, एक ठीक से लिख देता हूँ उसको, 20t minus 5t square. क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन, दो सोल्यूशन आएंगे. कैसे दो सोल्यूशन आएंगे? ऐसे 5t फैक्टर आउट कर लो. 5t is here, so 4 minus t. So this gives you either t is 0 or t is equal to 4. Equation doesn't know तुम्हें क्या चाहिए. All you're saying is when is displacement 0? It's saying when you started your clock, time was 0, displacement was 0, because when the ball started going up, the displacement was 0 at that time. 4 seconds later again it is 0. So you use your judgment and say कि भाई मेरे को ये नहीं चाहिए, मुझे ये चाहिए. This is your answer. That's how you do that. And then never ever forget to put the unit of measurement. Seconds is very very important. If you leave your answer like t is equal to 2, 2 second, 2 घंटे, है ना, 2 years, 2 क्या, 2 महीने, what 2 what, है ना, 2 picoseconds what. You have to write down seconds here. And this is for other person to understand what you have done so far, but this is also for your marks. You will not be getting marks, your marks will be deducted. If you look at the marking scheme, you will see if the unit of measurement is missing, marks will be deducted for that. ये एक sample था. It's not like a very high rocket science kind of problem here, but I'm trying to say how you should be approaching the problem. All the picture is there, the sign convention is there, equations are there, data is there, final answer with the unit is there. Now you get 100% marks on this. What you can do better here, you can do better than me in handwriting, obviously, है ना? So and then you can make up your own approach for these questions. एक और दूसरा question करके देखते हैं, ये वाला. And I'm sure many students can do that, most of you can do that, but I want to do it like kind of like systematic kind of approach. ये नहीं कि यहाँ try करा, यहाँ try करा, वो, है ना? So again, you do the same thing. I mean, so picture तो जरूरी है, that picture जरूरी है. Other than that, you can make your own method there, but always start any question in physics with a pictorial representation of what's happening there. A boy is standing on top of 100-meter top tower. On the top of a 100-meter tall tower, throws a ball up, ball ऊपर फेंक रहा है with a velocity of 20 meters per second. Similar kind of scenario, 20 meters per second, but अभी जमीन पे नहीं है, अभी ऊपर खड़े होके कर रहा है. That's the only difference. Find the velocity when which the ball hits the ground. Ball hits here with what velocity? Find v. पूरा दिमाग में दिख गया हो क्या रहा है, बॉल ऊपर गई नीचे आई. So some students try to break this question into two parts. They say, okay, ऊपर गई, यहाँ पे stop हो गई, I'll find the time for this, height for this, and then I'll find the time for this at time 1, time 2. You can do that. But what you're looking for is 25 to 30 lines of calculations here. Unnecessary. You don't have to. These are vectors. Vectors, the beauty of vectors is you don't see, displacement is a vector quantity. If you think about it, I was here, I started here, and if I tell you if I started here, I stopped here, how much is my displacement? But you are going to draw a straight line and measure that. You will not ask me, by Bhavdeep sir, how did you go there? Did you take this path? Did you take this path? Or did you just go straight? You are not going to ask me that. That's the beauty of these vectors. Start position, end position, that's all I need. Path की मुझे ज़रूरत ही नहीं. Now the ball started here. Let me write that down with a bold pen there. So ball started here. And the journey ends here. The journey ends there. तो मेरे को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता बॉल ऊपर जाके नीचे आए. I don't really care. For me the displacement तो यही है. That is the displacement. है ना, 100 meters का displacement है. Positive, negative, we'll see that. लेकिन मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता बॉल कितना ऊपर गया. I don't really care about it. All I care is बॉल यहाँ पे थी, बॉल 100 meters नीचे है. That's all I care about. है ना, यहाँ बॉल थी, यहाँ आ गई 100 meters नीचे. That's it. तो let's decide the sign convention. मैं इसको positive ले रहा हूँ, मेरी मर्जी है, मेरी मर्जी. Seriously, it's my choice. You decide your choice. You can take it downwards as positive. You will get the same answer. People who are on YouTube, you can pause the video after what I solved. Try it with downward positive as a challenge kind of scenario. You try yourself, you learn more, and you will see the answer is still the same. अब डेटा है ना, डेटा क्या है, U V A S and T. So the ball is going up with 20 meters per second. You are supposed to write positive there, plus 20 meters per second. V I have to find, so write down के भाई पता करना, so that you know you need an equation which needs V in there. Acceleration, again, as always, if I'm taking upward direction as positive, so downward direction is going to be negative. So acceleration is minus 10 meter per second square. ठीक है. अब डिस्प्लेसमेंट की बारी आती है. डिस्प्लेसमेंट के यहां से स्टार्ट किया, यहां पे रुक गए, तो नीचे की तरफ गए हम, तो डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज माइनस 100 meters. अब टाइम की जरूरत ही नहीं, तो काट क्रॉस कर दो उसको. There is one equation that links these four. Now the next job is to find that equation. वो तो सबको पता है कि भाई v square minus u square is 2as. So v minus u square, which is 20 का square, is equal to 2 times negative 10 negative 100 है ना. Both of them are negative. Then acceleration भी negative है, displacement भी negative है. v square था ये. So v square minus 400 is equal to 2 times of 1000 is 2000. तो v is equal to square root of जो भी आएगा उसके बाद this much है ना, meters per second. अब plus minus आएगा when you take square root. So obviously you're going to take minus because you know the ball is going downwards as a final thing. It's going downwards there. तो टिप हमने 4 देखी थी. इस पेज में हमने बहुत सारी टिप्स देख ली. Every question has to start with a picture representation. I would suggest that you make that in the fair section also. रफ में बनाने की जरूरत नहीं, फेयर में ही बनाओ, ठीक है. उसके बाद साइन कन्वेंशन यू डिसाइड करके लिख लो कि ऊपर पॉजिटिव है कि नीचे पॉजिटिव है, क्योंकि अनलेस यू राइट इट वो कंफ्यूजन हो जाता है कि मैंने ऊपर पॉजिटिव लेना है कि नीचे नेगेटिव. दिस थिंग आई एम टेलिंग यू इज गोइंग टू सेव अ लॉट ऑफ मार्क्स इन योर एग्जाम. very important that you write it down, क्योंकि अगर तुम लिख नहीं रहे ना, when you're writing data here, I've seen, based on my experience, I've seen many students get confused and they end up writing acceleration as positive here. सब कुछ गलत हो जाएगा, सब कुछ गलत हो जाएगा. तो एक ये एरो बनाना है और पॉजिटिव लिखना है, ऊपर या नीचे तुम्हारी मर्जी. दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड दैट गिव्स यू 100% मार्क्स विद ऑल दिस पिक्चर्स देयर, डेटा देयर, यूनिट्स देयर, एवरीथिंग देयर, एंड अ बेटर हैंडराइटिंग देन माइन ऑब्वियसली, है ना. तो ये कुछ टिप्स आई रियली वांट टू गिव यू कि 100% मार्क्स कैसे लेने. पहले तो प्रिपेयर करना है और वेबिनार करेंगे इसमें, एंड इन दैट आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू हाउ टू राइट द आंसर्स इन द एग्जाम, वो भी हम करेंगे. Yeah, so with all that preparation that you have already done in so many days in the past few months, and whatever revision strategies I told you today, so I'm very sure that you're going to do awesome in your exams. So first of all, good luck for your exams, and I'm really sure all of you are going to rock in the exam. So there's no doubt about it. My blessings are with you, my good luck is with you. But what's the next step now? So there are a couple of things that you have to do. First of all, you have to follow the tips that I gave you. Revise and follow all that scheduling and all that, but maybe you need some help, right? So there is a course that is coming up, and I'm going to talk about that for next 5 minutes on this. So Vedantu is coming up with a course, but that's 2-in-1 course. The first thing is you get 9th revision done in that. So this is starting, I think, next week, I guess. You can check the dates on that. So this is coming up starting in next week. So 9th revision course. So we do a full revision, a crash course kind of, like revise all the concepts there, practice a few questions like we did today, 2 questions, but practice each chapter's questions on that. So you get a 9th revision course plus the long-term course of preparing 10th board exam. So next year is really crucial for you. It's your board exam. Now the way the crash course work, we usually focus more on last minute, like make sure the concepts are clear to the point of getting good marks in the exam. So right, so but then with the long-term course, and many of you might have already attended my long-term courses, it's more about understanding physics. So you're not under the pressure of exam dates. So you can say, okay sir, this is falling down, So why not this way, that way, and those kind of things which are a little beyond the syllabus, and try to understand physics in general. That goes a long way. Later, 2 साल बाद 4 साल बाद, when you're taking a course in engineering, कभी भी जब physics पढ़ोगे, that those things will be always in your mind. And unlike like so, long term course is coming up for 10th grade. So this is a dual course, and this is for all 4 subjects: physics, chemistry, maths, and biology. Many students as of this webinar are taking this webinar on YouTube, so you're not able to converse with me live, right? But the classes we are talking about here will be live classes, so wherein you and I, when I'm teaching right now, you're listening and watching me right now, real time. The chat box is open, you can type on that, you can ask me questions on that, and I ask you questions, you reply on the chat box, I do the polls, and then you reply on the polls. In addition, I unmute you and say, okay, speak up in the class, like in the real class you speak in the class, so you participate in the class like that. So that's a big thing there. Now every session is recorded. What that means is, let's say there is a power failure, internet down in your area, so you're not able to attend. Mein शादी आ गई, birthday आ गया, कोई काम आ गया, and you're not able to attend the class, you can always see the recording later. But let's say you attended the class but you could not understand like 2 minutes of something there, you can always replay the session as many times as you want, fast forward to that portion of the class, then see that portion. Or maybe last minute exam time में last minute revision करना है, तो you can see the recording that time. Unlimited number of recordings, I mean recording is there, unlimited number of playbacks. After the class you get regular assignments in unit test after each chapter is over. That's really another thing. Now a dedicated WhatsApp group for doubt clearing. Doubt clearing का मतलब ये नहीं है कि सर एक डाउट भेजिए, सर जल्दी रिप्लाई करो, ऐसा नहीं होगा. I'm just trying to set the expectation. ऐसा नहीं कि WhatsApp पे भेजा and then you expect कि 2 सेकंड के अंदर आंसर आ जाए, ऐसा नहीं होगा. So the way the doubt clearing works is there's a dedicated group for you where your other classmates from this course will be there. You ask a question and other students, first of all, they'll jump in, and you also jump in to answer if you look at another person's doubt, because by answering other people's doubt, you're helping them, but you're helping yourself also. That's how you're learning more and more. But then there are some teachers in the group. There are teaching teachers, right? The one like I'm teaching you, but there are teachers who are more like mentors, and they are there full time to solve the doubts. So these but फटाफट से नहीं आएगा, maybe 2 4 घंटे 5 घंटे में, within same day you will get the response. कोई urgency है, then you can always say कि कल मेरा exam है, please reply fast, and that can be taken care of. Also money back guarantee, right? Money back guarantee is there, like you buy something on Amazon, Flipkart, नहीं पसंद आया वापस कर दिया, money back. Same thing here. You enroll for the course, नहीं पसंद आया, something about me is not clear, कि भाई नहीं अच्छा लग रहा course, and in addition there are other things. You have other conflicts with your scheduling, tennis class, dance class, something, taekwondo class, music class, other sessions you take somewhere elsewhere, or school की scheduling में नहीं match हो रहा. So whatever reason there is, you can always come back and say that I want my money back. You will get it. पर ऐसा नहीं कि पूरा साल पढ़ लिया, end of the year you say waste हो गया time, you give my money back. ऐसा नहीं होता. There is a duration during which you can try this course. 2 week होगा, 3 week होगा, you can figure that out. And then during that period you can always say भाई पैसा वापस करो, and there is full transparency. नहीं होगा तो talk to me, I will get refunded. Now, I advise you to enroll today to take advantage of the lightning deal, because if you enroll today, you're also getting the 9th wala package. Otherwise, थोड़े दिन बाद करोगे तो 10th वाला ही आएगा ना. So you can take advantage of this revision course, 9th exam preparation, and then you also get to be part of. From April we are going to get started. ऐसा नहीं कि 9th का exam खत्म हुआ the next day you start studying for 10th. You should take break, enjoy your life. फिर अप्रैल में we will start preparing for the board exam. So अप्रैल से होगा, you join today, 9th का कर लो, फिर 10th का शुरू, ठीक है? And as I never say goodbye, I usually say see you soon. So I'll see you soon either in one of the courses, or in one-to-one classes, or in the free webinar. Free webinars are always free, no obligation. Tell your friends, neighbors, cousins, anybody, okay, please visit the free webinars. The purpose of that is to spread out the free education. Okay? So I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye, and good luck with your exams. Bye bye.